Nicholas Angelides asked me to make Percy Jackson into Baldurs Gate 3, and I came up with one hell of a fighter build. Being adapt to sword fighting as we possibly can, we summon deity powers to guide our strength to just wipe through this game. We'll unlock second attack on our second level. Touching water won't just heal us, it will bless us, constantly having bless without concentration. It will electrify the water and create a condition, therefore adding our wisdom modifier to every one of our attacks. Even if the off chance arrives and we do miss, we'll just channel some dope God Shed and immediately plus 10 to that missed attack. Switching from using our long sword to throwing tridents at everybody, will stockpile lightning charges that we'll steal from either the ground or the target. We're not really stealing, that was just a really bad pun with the movie title. For the uninformed, Percy Jackson is a demigod, son of Poseidon. He wears a hoodie, has a bowl cut, and is very good at swords. I know him from the movie about 10 years ago, but he's also has a book series, a graphic novel series, and there is a new Netflix adaptation coming up, so this is great timing. Let's get started. There are chapters below if you'd like to skip around past the levels and straight into the equipment. I'll see you guys in a bit. First level I will take is Fighter. I'm going to use the dueling fighting style. It is worded kind of weird in 5e at least. There was a lot of conversation about whether dueling would work if you have a shield in your hand. It does. It's +2 to damage as long as you're only using one singular weapon at a time and not using both hands. I focus on making my strength my highest, and I dumped dexterity. I suggest not dumping dexterity at level 1. I suggest waiting until you get to the endish of Act 1 where you can buy the gloves of dexterity to then dump your dexterity. Until then, you can keep it at the suggested 13 or just drop it to 12. Just at least have a +1 in it. It's going to help a little bit. You'll probably use just run-of-the-mill medium armor until you can find a decent heavy armor. But the most important thing is to make sure our wisdom is at a 15 and our constitution is at a 14. The next level is where it gets fun. We are going to move into Cleric. We're going to take one level of Cleric here, picking the War Domain. Off the bat, immediately, we have unlocked second attack. Unfortunately, it is going to take our bonus action to do it, and we can only do it for a specific amount of charges. In D&D 5e, these charges relate to your wisdom modifier, but in Baldur's Gate, they cap you off at 3 until you get to a higher level. But that's okay, because we get some dope cleric skills, and our DC's not trash, so they'll actually be very helpful. Command is one of the most very important spells in the entire game. I probably use it more than anything, especially making these videos. Making targets skip their turns is invaluable and will forever be very useful. But while you're here, you can also grab Healing Word, Cure Wounds, Guiding Bolt, all very helpful spells, especially in the early games. As far as cantrips go, Guidance is the best cantrip in the game. You're just getting all the best stuff immediately at level 2 while being a very good fighter at the same time. I took my next level in Cleric as well. This way we unlock Arsenal Divinity, Guided Strike. If we miss, we can use this once a long rest to add 10 to that missed attack, turning it into a successful attack. From here we can move right back into Fighter, grabbing Axe and Surge, and then moving into level 3 to pick our subclass. I went with Battle Master. It especially fits with Percy being as adept to sword fighting as he is. We went and picked a bunch of maneuvers. Commander Strike is also a very good choice here, especially if you're running with a rogue. That way you can get them to do an additional sneak attack. But Menacing, Disarm, and Trip Attack are all my top 3. I would definitely choose within that realm, but it's all up to you. 4th level, we pick up a feat. I am grabbing Tavern Brawler. This is going to add additional strength modifiers to things that we throw, and we are going to be throwing tridents. So go ahead and pick that up and roll our 17 strength over to 18. Moving into 5th level Fighter to grab second attack, and then moving into 6th level Fighter to grab additional feat to raise our strength to 20. From here, I continued leveling Fighter all the way to level 8, picking up another ABI to increase our wisdom to 18. The last 2 levels, I would put it into Cleric just to get additional spell slots, open up level 2 spells. Hold Person is fantastic, incredibly helpful, especially since that once you hit your 4th level in Cleric, you're able to turn your wisdom into a 20 as well. One last thing, there's one very important thing that the build needs to go. There are a lot of items that you can use to create water, like bottles of water, which I, for some reason, stockpile every time I play this game. There's a lot of spells that items have that let you create water, but right at your 2nd level when you picked up spells, go ahead and just pick up Create Water. I should have said it earlier. I could have edited it in earlier too, but here we are. With this spell, we can create a water surface for us to stand on, and all of our equipment is going to trigger as soon as we do that. Speaking of equipment, let's jump right into weapons. I use Lathorn's Wrath for quite a bit. It's a magical +1 longsword that you can buy at the Creche that comes with a cone AoE ability. Even earlier than that, we got to pick our #1 throwing weapon, the Sparky Points. This is an option for you to choose once you save the lady from the Walking's Rest burning building. This trident gives you lightning charges when you use it to attack people with. Lightning charges are probably one of the coolest stat buff you can get in this game. They give you additional damage every time you connect and hit someone. They give you a +1 to hit, and as soon as you get to 5, they'll do a d8 of electricity damage on your target. But at the beginning of Act 3, at the circus, you have the option to get Nelnira. I'll never pronounce it right, I'm so sorry. This is one of the best weapons in the entire game. You could just use it to throw, as it will automatically equip to you without you having to use the bound weapon trick. I'll have a link for that. I made a short video on how to do it. It does tons of additional thunder damage. It comes with 2 weapon skills that are incredibly useful and very strong. It's an absolutely awesome weapon, and I could totally see someone just forgetting to use their longsword after they grab this. Now, this healing water trick that Percy does is going to take a few pieces of equipment to put together to make it work. The first item is the Whispering Promise Ring. Now, you can purchase this ring from Volo as soon as you free him from the Goblin Camp in Act 1. It's usually like 70 gold pieces. It turns any instance of healing into a 2-turn, no concentration bless. Now, anytime in Act 3, you're able to go to a Temple of Umberlee and speak to the main cleric. She has a quest for you. It's pretty simple. It follows along the main storyline quest, so you'll get tons of stuff done as you're doing it. And she gives you a pair of robes called the Wave Mother's Robes. Now, these gives you a bunch of resistances to fire and cold, a +1 to your AC, but it will heal you 1d4 as long as you're standing on a wet surface. So equip the ring on, and every time a turn starts, you'll heal, which will trigger the ring, which will trigger your bless. Now, way back in Act 1, at the Goblin Camp around the area that you find Minthura, you will find a pair of shoes called the Water Sparklers. Now, these will electrify any water surface that you're currently on, turning this healing blessed pool into kind of a hellscape for everybody. But it will also give you additional lightning charges while you stand there. If you wanted to avoid this electricity damage, you could equip the Sparkswall Ring. You can get this in the Underdark, in the secret floor in the Arcane Tower. The glove slot is easy. I do suggest wearing the Gloves of Dexterity. You can purchase these from the Creche vendor right at the end of Act 1. They're going to turn your score, whatever it is, into an 18. The last bit that totally is the icing on the cake is we're going to equip the Diadem of Synergy, which is also, as a lot of you know if you watch my videos, in the Creche at the end of it. Anytime we inflict a condition, which is going to always happen as long as we are electrifying water underneath us, we get Arcane Synergy, adding our +5 wisdom modifier to all of the damage we make with our weapons. As far as shields go, I like to use Ketheric's shield. It's an additional +1 to your spell DC, so when you like to use command or hold person, this is pretty helpful. It also gives you shield bash as a reactionary. If you get hit, you have a reaction to possibly knock them on their butt. And as long as we're chucking things around, we might as well grab the Ring of Fling. It's a d4 damage extra to every time you throw something. You can purchase this from literally the first vendor, Aaron, at the Druid's Grove. Hey, thanks for watching my video. I hope you liked it. If you did, I appreciate a like and a sub. If not, hey, well, maybe next time. Drop a comment what you think my next build should be, and I'll see you guys around. Okay, bye.